Okay.
And I have got some more slides to share, but I don't know how to do that because you probably have to make me sort of, for me to share the screen, I'm going to have to, yeah. Okay, so I'm not sure how many people are on, but what I was asking was for some of you to have a look at the questions that are in front of you, and just pick the answers so that I can see what you know, for the first question is what makes you happy. But before we do that, let me just introduce myself. So my name is Gillian, and I run a company called Natural I Am, and in short, it's called NIA. NIA in Swahili means with purpose. So I don't know if any of you know that already.
Oh,
so one of the key things that I had come up with when I came up with the name was that I wanted to, and it was years ago I came up with this name, and I wanted to know what my purpose was. But then I kept on having people asking me about hair all the time, and I'm really talking over probably 20 years or even 30 years. When I used to, 30 years ago, probably 35 years ago, I used to just braid people's hair at home, do extensions and cane rows, and, you know, for my daughter's hair, and then everyone else, whoever knew me, would send their children to me and I'd braid their hair. And moving on from that, whilst I was working full time, I decided to take a course in traditional locks, learning how to do traditional locks, and that was down in Brixton in London. And that course was over, I think it was over about 4 days. Did that course. The following year, I decided, that was in 2004. And then the following year, I decided in 2005 to go over to America and learn how to do sister locks. So I learned all of the knowledge that was passed down from my auntie and, you know, family of how to just braid your hair. I was plaiting my hair from the age of 8, 9 and 10 and on, simply because my sisters, I have 2 elder sisters, and they wouldn't do my hair for me. So I had to learn how to do my own hair very young. And then I learned how to cane row and so on. So yeah, fast forward now to 2013, when I had moved to Milton Keynes. I knew that when I moved to Milton Keynes, I had retired. I'd left my full-time job of about 30 years working for DWP. And I knew I wanted to do my own business, which was, one of them was to do hair. So I converted my garage into a 1-seat salon, and that's where I do my work, basically. I registered the company in 2018 or 19, I can't remember. I think it was 2019, January 2019, because prior to that, I was self-employed as a foster carer. So, you know, trying to juggle both of those jobs together was a mean feat. Stopped doing the foster caring and then started doing the hair consultancy full time. So here we are now in 2021, and everything has changed because I can't have anyone in the chair, and I have just converted to doing everything online. So I really had to adapt. And I did that from last year. Last year, when we first had the lockdown, was in March, and by April, I was running classes online for my customers of how to maintain their own hair during the lockdown, the first lockdown. So here we are. If you can all see those questions, I can't see everybody. I can only see you, Faith. And I believe that there are about 18 of us on. Yes. So Faith, you'll have to help me with the numbers.
No problem.
So the first question, if everybody can, maybe they can use the chat. If people can use the chat, is the chat open for everybody? Let me just see.
Oh yeah. Just say which one we choose.
Yeah, I think maybe we could just use the chat. So with question number 1, what makes you happier about your hair? Is it the texture of it, the versatility of it, or nothing? So if you just put A, texture, B, or C. So A, B, or C will be fine in the chat. And then we can kind of have an idea of how people are feeling about their hair.
Okay.
So that's question number 1. So just put, 1B, 1C, 1A, 1, whichever. And color, I like that. Like that. And then when we've pretty much got everybody answered, then we can move on to question number 2. Are we still waiting for some people to answer in the chat then?
Well, it didn't look as if everybody, people are still answering. People are still
answering. Yeah, sure.
Gillian, can I just ask you to just make the font a little bit bigger, please? It's Jenny.
I don't have control, Jenny. That's
okay.
Yeah, sorry, because
small.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, I don't have control of doing that at the moment. So let me read it out again. So the question number 1 is, what makes you happier about your hair? And A is texture, the texture of it. B, the versatility of it. Or C, nothing. So just put 1A, 1B, or 1C, or you can type out. Some people have typed out the whole.
Okay.
Is that pretty much everyone, do you think?
Just about, I think, yeah.
Should we move on to question
2?
Question 2, yeah, let's move on to question 2.
Yeah.
And so what habits do you regularly fall into for your hair? What habits do you regularly fall into? A is washing your hair at night. B, using hair grease on your scalp. And C, not covering your head at night before going to bed.
Okay, so what habits have you regularly?
Or none of the above, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't got D, but we can make a D, none of the above. Yeah, so D. There's no D, but we can put none of the above for D.
Okay.
12 people have answered. So maybe about 3 more, and then 13. Maybe 2 more. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, I think, because everybody wants to. So shall I read it out again in case anybody's not got the gist of it? So number 2 was, what habits do you regularly fall into? A, washing your hair at night. B, using hair grease on your scalp. C, not covering your head at night before going to bed. Or D, which isn't there, but none of the above. Yep. So let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is, how often do you wash your hair? A, every 7 to 10 days. B, every 14 to 30 days. And C, over five weeks.
starting by at 175. You need to drive it right down. You need supermarkets to help you.
Here, across the city, they're determined to make sure you always.
Yeah, so shall I read those out again?
Yeah, carry on.
Shall I read them out again? So how often do you wash your hair? Every 7 to 10 days, every 14 to 30 days, or over 5 weeks?
This will be seen.
1.7 million vulnerable people.
Okay, so right, we're going to leave those there, and you can answer them, and I'm going to just present, and then we're going to go back to these answers and see how you feel. You know, we'll discuss them at the end, and maybe you've got some questions as well about them. Okay, so I don't know how to. No, Venice is busy.
You want to remove the questions?
Yeah, I've got the rest of the other slides.
Okay, I think you're going to. Oh, she's got the other slides. There are more slides?
There are more slides. I've got them, but I can't. I thought I was going to be able to get this screen shared.
Oh.
Oh, did you share your slides with Venice? Did you?
No, because we didn't have. She's occupied, so
Yes.
I haven't been able to.
Sister Faith,
Yeah?
go into control settings and give Gillian co-host status as well.
Where do I find that?
Right, it says if you are using a phone, it says in the more.
No, I'm on the computer. So
On your laptop. Okay.
You can still, there should be meeting setting,
okay.
and you click on her and give her co-host as well. She can then share her screen.
Okay, so I'm clicking on more to see what comes. Pause recording, stop recording, breakthrough. No, that's not it.
Meeting settings, it should be.
Meeting. What I have at the bottom of my screen, I have a stop video, security, participants, poll, chat, and share screen.
There, no, there should be a meeting settings where.
Yeah.
All right, click on participant.
Okay.
And see Gillian's name.
Okay.
And then if you click on her name, there should be a list of things that you can do.
Okay. I'm
give her
clicking on her name now. Okay. That's Gillian. More. Okay. More. Okay. Spotlight for everyone. Allow record. Allow multi-pin. Oh, put in waiting room.
No, share screen.
No, give co-host.
Oh, give co-host it will be, yeah. But
Yeah,
she's a co-host already.
Yeah, but she should be able to give co-host as well.
Penny, a trip to the beach this summer is something to look forward to. But last week, the advice from Grant Shapps for transport.
Did it not come up? Then it might be the one set up.
No, it didn't come up.
Then maybe only the host can do it on.
Yeah, because she's already sharing the screen, you see.
Oh.
So that might be that she's sharing this screen, but it needs to come off. Okay.
All right, so how are we going to deal with that one now?
Can you take this off of the screen?
Okay, let me see.
If you click on stop share.
Okay.
At the bottom.
At the bottom. Stop video.
Stop share. I think
stop
it's
share.
Share screen. Okay.
Yes.
All right. This will stop the other screen sharing.
Yes.
So that's the one I want. So now I do no, yes?
Click on it.
Has that made any difference to your screen, Gillian?
No.
Share screen.
Okay, right. The other thing is then at the top, there should be a remote control on your laptop. At the top.
At the top?
Yeah, it says remote control at the top. Should be at the top right-hand side, I think it is.
We'll find
What
out.
I have at the top right-hand side is view.
Does it have remote control up there?
Oh, view options. Okay, I'm gonna view options now. Zoom ratio, remote control, request
That's it.
remote
Click on
control.
that one, remote control and request it.
Okay, click on remote control. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and it says request.
Yeah.
So I click on request.
Yeah. And hopefully you should have the control. Unless Vanessa's got to say yes. She might not say.
Yeah, she has to say yes. She has to.
Yeah.
She has to say yes.
Okay.
So,
Is that okay now?
no,
Really?
No, because she's still got the control, but she needs.
she's still got the control. View,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm going to give you
I've requested remote control, but she has to be the one that goes in to say.
I'm going to give her a quick call just so she can break what she's doing.
Hotmail, not just for children who are entitled to meal, but anyone in need.
We're a bit stuck. Gillian
Yeah.
needs to share the screen. We don't know how to change the screen for her to have another slide.
Yeah, okay.
Ask her to make Gillian a co-host.
So what do you need to do?
Can you make?
Can you see it?
Make me make me host.
Okay, let's. The phone. It's on the question at the moment, and can you make her co-host?
Yeah,
So that she.
co-host. You can do it.
So that. Yeah. Yes, but I don't know how to change the screen.
All right, let me talk.
Okay. Hello, sis.
Hi. So we just
Hello.
need to.
What would you
I
like me to do?
I have my slides ready, but I can't do anything, as you know. I need to be co-host.
Okay, just 1 second.
And Denise, if you can stop sharing your screen.
Okay, I thought I was sharing it. Would you
Yeah,
like me to
that's it.
share?
Okay.
No, let Gillian share it.
Okay. I will be there shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
All right. Okay.
We're there.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Children themselves have been inspired.
Okay. Let's hope everything comes up. It's running slow.
Okay. You getting there?
It's going very slowly. I don't know why it's come up blank.
This is a screen you've got. This is the page you're trying to bring up.
Yeah, but it's come up it's come up with a blank screen for some reason.
What took you so long?
I can't even see my cursor.
How?
How is your spare car?
Okay.
She told me she needed that because the car broke. It was in the garage. It was on the weekend, so I can't.
Okay. All right. So this is what you want to show
So
us?
she's okay. Let me in. So I told
This
her
is what I want to show you, but as I'm trying to do it from the beginning, and it's coming up with a blank slide. So let's see.
Could you mute your screen? Ladies who's having a conversation, could you mute?
why she asked me.
Television.
Give it back, Mum.
I give it back, yeah. I don't know why she told me. If she just wanted to chat, then she was just texting me. I just don't understand.
Where does she live?
Somebody's having a conversation and
Not far from the Pegasus roundabout.
Gillian, can you mute? You can do it.
I'm just going to them. Sorry, yeah. I was trying to find who it is because I have to scroll all the way down. Okay. Now I can't see.
Okay, well, I can see you have the presentation
Right, I'm going to have to do it from here because when I go into, for some reason, it's not working on from the beginning of the slideshow. Let's see if it does it from this one.
What's your first page? Is it Gillian Presents?
Yeah, but when I go into the slideshow, it comes up blank for some reason.
Okay. All right.
So we're going to go from here. Okay. So let's go because we're just going to have to, unfortunately, you've got my, the toolbar at the top. So can you all see where it says Gillian Presents and then it has a list of things underneath?
Yes.
Yes, good, thank you.
No, I can't.
Yeah, so we've gone through the questions. We're just going to go through. These are the type of customers that I will see. People with afro or afro-infused hair. Afro-infused hair is basically people who have got a mixed hair. People who have got their hair is mixed with Chinese,
Oh, you mean their
Indian
nationality?
nationality.
It's a mix. They have mixed race.
Not necessarily the nationality, because the nationality doesn't sort of show you that they have mixed hair. So you could be Indian but mixed with black, and you could be British. So, it's just that the hair has been infused with another race.
Okay. That's it. Mixed race. That's what I said.
I've got to admit people in as well. Okay. So, yeah. So that's basically how I call somebody with a mixed hair is Afro infused, because the Afro has been infused into one of the other races, Spanish, Indian, Chinese, European, many. And obviously I see children and adults.
Okay, excuse me, Julian. Now that you're in control, can you make the font bigger?
Oh, that might be able to do that. Yeah. Oh, no, I don't think I can, because I'll have to go back into my presentation to do that. It's supposed to be bigger from here, but it's not. The slideshow bit is not working. So when I go on to slideshow, it doesn't seem to want to work.
If you go to the bottom of your screen, you've got on the bottom right hand corner, you can make it bigger from there.
Yeah, is that where it says more?
The bottom of the screen where you've got the slides, the boxes.
Yeah, I see it, but it's something else will come up now. Hold on. Okay, so that's gone.
So there's a bar.
Does that do it?
There's like a bar, and then.
Yep, I found it. Yeah. Does that do it?
A little more.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's much better.
Okay.
Much better. Thank you very much.
Is that better?
Yes,
So
much better. Thank you.
This is mainly explaining the type of customer that I would see, and people who are having a bit of a struggle with loving their hair. I saw a lady not so long ago, and she didn't have anything nice to say about her afro hair at all, but she wanted me to put her hair into sister locks. I sent her away with some positive words of describing her hair before. Yeah, because, and also sometimes we are so used to putting our hair away under a wig, braids, or hats, or, we're just used to putting our hair away. You don't actually feel the texture of your hair too much. Or if you go to feel the texture of your hair and you really don't like the texture of it, you prefer it to be flat or relaxed than curly as it is in its natural state. So my customers are mainly indecisive about the best way to maintain their either their loose or tightly curl patterned hair. And I normally hold a consultation, which will be about an hour, where they can learn how to fall back in love with their hair, with the language that they use, as well as, the look of their hair and different ways to untangle it without using a comb. So moving on to our hair language of love. I think some of you may know about love languages that we use with our partners. And a lot of us, you know, should really, we are practicing to say kind things about our hair, and that can be quite difficult. So you go to a salon will just do your hair, but they wouldn't necessarily help you to change your mindset about the language to use about our Afro hair. Familiar words is it's hard hair instead of it's lovely hair. It's time consuming to wash Afro or Afro infused hair, and generally it gets all tangly and knotty, you know, instead of thinking about how soft and lovely the hair can feel, especially when it's wet. Hard to style as some of the language that people tend to use because it's got too many knots in it. Instead of using your comb, you can use your fingers, and we can talk through that as well today. Sometimes people say my hair is so tough, or the person, if you're combing someone else's hair, her hair's so tough, instead of saying your hair is quite versatile. And it's horrible and it's too difficult are other words that people use, but instead of saying that, it's lovely, it's versatile, it's soft. You know, I love the way it feels, I love the way it's versatile. I can leave it and, you know, it will just do its own thing. It can be straight, you can blow dry it straight. You've got such versatile hair. It's unique. We have beautiful hair. God has blessed us with this beautiful hair. Sorry, I'm just letting somebody in.
No, I just did. I let them in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot you still have that control, right? So, and we still have, like I said, beautiful hair that is unique. We are the only race that has this unique hair. And once we are infused with another race, you can always see the coils of an Afro hair coming through. Okay, so just hold on to your questions, ladies, if you have them till the end, and so I can whiz through these slides, not many more to go now. Uncovering the myths. About locks, some people tend to think that locks are dirty. Locks are not dirty. Locks are dirty if they're not washed or maintained in the correct way. And a lot of people tend to think about locks as in traditional locks, I call them, rather than dreadlocks. I don't use the word dread because it doesn't have nice connotations to it. So I use the word traditional. Dreadlocks, I think, is something that the Rastafarians use, and obviously Rastafarianism is a religion, and obviously we have got people who have dreadlocks, and that's what they call their locks. But I try to change the language for people who use who have got traditional locks or have got locks as just for style rather than for their religion, so that they can put the word traditional locks in the front of it. Myth 2, my job won't accept me as I need to look professional as possible. This is something that was said to me years ago. I had my locks done in 2001, December 2001. And when I went to work with my hair in locks, people were saying, oh, but you know, is it professional? Well, the way I used to have my hair, and my hair has been cut about 3 or 4 times. So I used to have it in the middle of my back. I've been cutting it up ever since. It grows. I don't throw it in the bin. It's in one position, so it does grow. And I retighten it every 4 to 6 weeks. So, and you can keep it as professional as you would like it to be. You can style it. Even if your hair is natural, you can still style it in such a wonderful way just by 2-strand twisting it. It's beautiful. Just to get used to that 2-strand twist in your hair on a regular fortnightly basis it's the best thing in the world, and you will see the difference in your hair over time. No styling potential. That's what a lot of people say. We have no styling potential. You can style your hair. If it's natural, you can blow dry it. You can blow dry it straight. You can 2-strand twist it and then have a twist out. You can leave it and just have it like an afro. You can just finger comb it so it looks kind of rough, but you know, by the time you've done your beautiful faces, you know, people always want to touch our hair, always. So, you know, be mindful of that.
That's so true.
And especially when we have it, the longer your hair is, the more they want to touch it. When you have your hair in any kind of locks, there's always a conversation. You will get the brothers and the sisters nodding, doing the okay. Once you have locks, you'll sit on a train or bus, or you'll walk on the street and someone else with locks will always give you the chin, always yes. And you know, it's just a thing that happens between people who have any kind of locks, even natural hair. People are intrigued by our hair. Even when you have 2-strand twists, they always want to ask a question. Your family will ask you questions about your hair and say, what are you doing with your hair? Why are you not, putting it in, straightening it? No. I need too many products. When your hair is actually natural, you don't need as many products as you do when you have your hair straightened. You wouldn't believe that. And if you are going to put your hair in braids, again, you know, you need the hair extensions to put in your hair. But once you've got your hair natural, you use less products, okay? The types of products that you use, you may go through stages of getting familiar with the type of product that will be suited to your hair, because we're all made up of different, you know, DNAs. So some of us, I know I have Indian in my genealogy, and my father has an Indian grandmother. So, you know, it comes through the line. Yeah. My mother has, you know, English white in her genealogy. So it comes through, and the two fuse together. I have the hair that's very light, you know, but it's very coily. So we need to just get used to what works for us as individuals. What works for your mum may not work for you, because your mum have got different genealogy from you. So, you know, we need to bear all of that in mind. I don't need to wash my hair often. Our hair grows out of our scalp. Our scalp has skin on it. How often do you wash your face? If you wash your face every morning and every night, then you can be guaranteed that you should be washing your scalp, which is where your hair grows out of on your head, at least every 7 to 10 days, ladies. So that's every week or every 2 weeks, because you've got to keep your scalp clean. Once you're keeping your scalp clean, your hair will grow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that says tools, and let me just move it a bit so that you can see.
Okay, good.
Yeah, is that okay? Tools and styles.
Tools and styles.
So tools and styles. So your tools that you use for your hair and styles. Tools for your natural hair. You can use a wide tooth comb, and I have one here. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's seriously wide.
Okay. As a wide tooth wooden comb. The difference with this comb is it hasn't got any seams inside here. So inside this bit here, there's no seams there. So when you're combing your hair through, the seams in the inside won't be tearing your hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's a fantastic, and it's really good to use this type of comb when your hair is wet. Okay. There's also brushes that you can use that are, and some of you may have seen this type of brush. Can you see this brush?
Oh, okay.
All right, and that's a brush.
Really?
Yes, for brushing your hair, and it doesn't pull out your hair. Okay.
That's a first to me. I've not seen that brush before.
Yes, for me too.
Okay, so those are brushes that you can use for natural hair. Obviously, for your locks, you don't need to use any brushes or any combs because you are not combing your hair anymore. Everything that grows stays inside the locks and you're not throwing any of your hair away. So that means your hair will keep growing and keep growing as long as you want it to be.
Okay.
Okay, so
but somebody else knows about them.
yeah, because you won't have to when you've got your hair locked away, you're not combing it, and there's none to come out of the comb and throw in the bin. And my hair isn't dead hair. My hair is alive even when I've cut it. And I forgot to bring my extra hair as another prop, but I can go and get it to show you guys the bunches that I have got of hair where I've cut my hair over the years. I've kept them because I intend to make a wig, but I haven't got around to doing that as yet. I should have done it in lockdown, actually.
Really?
Yeah, so a wig for myself. So that because I have thinning, I've been diagnosed as having traction alopecia. And so, you know, if I have thinning and I can make a wig out of my own hair, then it's still my hair.
Yeah.
So, okay. Clips and bands. Ladies, there are some clips that you can use to you know, when you are, I'm just trying to find the clip. When you are parting your hair or plaiting your hair. And here's some clips that you can use. These sort of clips. These are the type of clips that you can use. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. And you always use.
I remember those from childhood. My auntie was a hairdresser.
So you always use these type of clips. Where it bends, that's the bit that goes on your head. You don't put them in upside down this way. Yeah. You always, where the bend is, that's where it goes in. You clip your hair. So you go this way in.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have some other clips as well. Clips and bands. So you have some of these bulldog clips that you can use when you're doing your hairstyling. You can, you know, put it on your head to hold it.
Yes.
Not too tight, and then continue doing your twisting on the other side. Yeah. So you have some bands as well. Bands, these sorts of bands are very good for our hair because they don't tear the hair out. Okay. So you can buy these, so there's no silver bit. There's not a silver clip on there. The silver clips you have to be careful of because they can tear your hair when you're taking.
Elasticated?
It is elasticated, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right, and this one won't be too tight. If you decide to put it on your hair just to have your hair bunched up, it won't keep it too tight, and you need to be mindful that you're not pulling it too tight because that again is traction that you're doing, and it can cause you know, the traction alopecia as well. Some clips to, if you are styling your hair, you use these type of clips before, ladies.
Oh yeah, hair clips. Yeah.
Okay. And these are the type of clips that you would use to, if you're doing an updo or a side parting and you want to have just some of your hair up and the rest down. And then you have got these bands as well, different size bands. And I'll tell you, these ones I bought from a company called Afrocentrics, but I'll give you a hint of what I tend to do as well. Not being rude, and we're all ladies, but do you know what this is?
Is that your girdle?
Anti-hose top.
Okay, so this is a pair of tights.
Yeah.
Right? Well, obviously I've used all of the legs. So you know,
okay.
Right, so you know when you get a pair of you get your opaque tights, and you've got ladders in them or something. Rather than throw them away, this is what you do. You just, hold on a minute. You don't throw them away. You get the leg. You cut the. I've used these ones to death actually. So you cut a piece of the leg off, and then you've got a band for your hair.
Oh, okay. I'll be in the back taking my old tights out.
Yes, I do that.
And you've also got the top to use as a head thing on your head.
Ah, well, yes, you have. So well done, Phil. Well done. So you can tie the top together. You can tie the top together in a knot.
And then you use it.
Yeah, and
I
then
do all the time.
Okay.
Tie them together and then turn it over.
All right.
And then you put it on your head.
Okay. I'll be busy then.
Okay, ladies. So this is all called upcycling. So these are some of the tips that you can have. Okay, so you don't need to go out and buy these bands. You just got to think, oh, I've got a pair of old tights in the drawer. I need some bands. Okay, and then you just put it around your hair, and it holds your hair perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So there you go. Those are the bands. What else have we got? Styles. Well, you know, you can put your hair up. You can 2-strand twist your hair. You can cane roll. And some people call cornrow, cane row. Cane row, cornrow. Same thing. Single plaits, extensions. We talk about protective styles. So these are all single plaits. Extensions, locks. Locks are not necessarily a protective style, because if you decide to go down the locks journey, it's probably best to just keep going. But when you have your hair out, if you have got like scalp conditions, I would always say to people, fall back in love with your hair first. You know, get used to the texture of your hair. Get used to manipulating your scalp in a way that you're kind of caressing your scalp. You're not making it really, really rough. You are, you know, going to be caressing your scalp so that it's nice and gentle.
Massage it, yes.
Yes,
gentle massage.
With your fingertips and not with your nails.
Yeah.
Now, ladies, I can't actually see you all, but what I want you all to do as an exercise is to get your nails, look at your, I mean, if you can take off if you can have a look in your screens, you'll be able to see yourselves. So basically, if you do this with your nails on your forehead, quite, you know, just press in your forehead quite a bit, and then or if you just look at me doing it, then I let go, you can see that I have got some markings on my forehead. You press your nails into your forehead and let go, you can see the nails have marked my forehead. Can you see?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're using your nails on your scalp, you are going to be scratching your scalp, and you could leave scarring on your scalp.
Oh.
Because your nails can scar your scalp, and then you can have patches on your scalp where your hair won't grow back because you're scratching it with your nails. You need to use the beds of your fingers, okay? Your finger beds.
Okay.
So when you're washing your hair, you're using this kind of motion, in and out, gently in and out on each corner of your hair, okay? So you're just going in and out like this. You're not going round and round in circles, round and round, giving it a good old round and round. We don't have straight hair, we have curly hair. And if you go round and round and round in circles on curly hair, it just gets more and more knotty. And then when you come with the comb, you're like, ow, ow. And that's what you do with children. That's what you do with children as well. And that's why children, 9 times out of 10, don't like having their hair combed, because, or especially after wash day. Okay. So 6 tips I can give you. I've already given you some tips already, but I've written up 6, so just to go through them. Use more natural products if you can.
And Gillian?
Yes.
Gillian?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a little time check. It's just coming up to 7:20, and there are a few questions.
Okay.
So I think there's going to be some discussion. So just to give you a little heads up that we will need some time for discussion.
Okay. I'll just go through. Thank you. I won't be very long. I'll just go through these very quickly. So just use more products that are natural if you can. At the end, I've got some names of some companies that you can I can give you as well. And because it's always good not to use products that have got silicone or parabens in them, that, you know, especially some products that have got beeswax or in them, because beeswax is very hard, or glycerine can be hard to wash out of your hair, especially if you've got your hair in braids. So do not wash your hair at night is another tip, because it holds the water, and it can cause your hair to smell, especially if you've got it in braids, and if it's not dried properly, it can smell like old socks. Be aware of that. Always wash your hair during the day if you can, so it has enough time to air dry. Yes, your hair should be washed every 7 to 10 days or every 14 days, which is every fortnight. Use your tips of your fingers. We just went through that. Cover your hair with a satin or silk scarf and or sleeping cap. A lot of people who have got their hair in braids use sleeping caps. Sleeping caps are not always good for people who have got their hair naturally out, because it can still move in the night and cause knotting. But you know, it depends on the size of the sleeping cap. When your hair is plaited, your hair in extensions, etc., then you should, what does that say? You should not be having it, you should not be pulling it. So when you're putting your hair into extensions, you shouldn't be pulling it. That was the last slide, ladies, so we can stop sharing now and go back to our full screen. This is the last slide, which has got details, my contact details, and also details of companies that I collaboratively work with, and they have given me a discount code as well. So if anybody's interested, please feel free to take a picture of that if you want to, with your phones, or just get in contact with me afterwards. I'm on the group. Okay, thank you. And now we'll take some questions.
Yes, please.
Okay.
How do we stop the share, and do I give you back?
No need to stop the share. If we go into the chat, the brushes was one question. What's the pink brush called?
Okay, the pink brush is called Easy Detangler.
And where can you get it from, please?
I got this from, well, online is practically where we get everything from nowadays. So, yeah. So I got this online, Easy Detangler, and you can buy it. Let me see where their website.
Oh, a detangler brush.
And
yeah, easy.
What are those brushes? Bristles. Can you say what the bristles are for the unique hairbrush you showed?
It's a hairbrush for people who have got natural hair out, and it will stop your hair from. It's an easy detangler, so it will stop your hair from knotting, and when you comb it through, it will separate. This separates out.
Right.
There is a clip that comes with it, but I don't know where the clip has gone. So yeah, it's mainly when your hair is wet, and it can detangle any type of hair, right, without any issues at all. You can apply a conditioner or a spray, a moisture spray on your hair, and just brush it through. But remember, when we're brushing our hair, you always start at the root, at the bottom, and work your way back up to the root. So
Will it work all right on my hair is very short? and white. Will it work all right on it?
You probably, yeah, if you wanted to, you probably don't even need to use, you could probably use the comb.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
I'm
let me,
going to move on to the Pastor Beryl. Yeah, I noticed, and this is referring to one of your comments. I noticed there are many people with locks who have traction alopecia. Is it to do with the weight of the hair, or is the hair too tight or too long?
so that's a good question, and it is a combination of all of those things, but mainly when you have got traditional locks and the traction alopecia is taking place, it may be, if it is traction alopecia, that is, because if people are balding, it could be one of many types of hair loss. And I would always say to people, go and see a trichologist. A trichologist is somebody who specializes in hair and scalp. The trichologist will refer you to a dermatologist, but you have to go via, in this country, we have to go via the GP. So yes, so me as a stylist, I would look at somebody's hair, they will be in my chair, I'd have a look at their hair and their scalp, and then I'd have a look and see how many patches are in their hair, on their scalp, and then I would advise them to go and see their GP to be referred to a dermatologist, or to go directly to a trichologist, who will then give you a letter to go back to your GP, and the GP can then refer you to a dermatologist. There is a process. You can't just go directly in to see a consultant at the hospital. You have to go via the reception, you know, so you have to go through the processes. So when we have our hair in locks, you have to ensure that it's not too tight, because that does cause, in the long term, it causes traction alopecia. But and also what can cause an alopecia is the way that you manipulate your hair. If you're rough with your scalp and you're washing it like it's old clothes, it's going to cause damage to your scalp.
Okay.
And that's including when you're drying your hair as well. So if you're drying, wash your hair, you need to wash it.
Gillian, sorry, there's a lot of disturbance talking over you, so sometimes I can't really hear what you're saying. There's a Patricia or somebody that's there. There's a lot of disturbance. Sorry.
Okay, I can't see the yellow square coming up at the moment, but if it does, I will, you know, it seems to be okay at the moment, I think. Okay, so was there, hold on, because Denise has gone on the phone, so let me have a, she was taking the question, so let me go.
Yes, could I ask you, can you please, just one moment, can you please explain how to check one's hair porosity and the effects of teaming for the various types? If I can ask you, Mum, to carry on with the questions after this one, but it's about porosity, which you have showed me.
Porosity is something that you can't get too hung up on porosity, to be fair. I know it's important that people know about hair porosity, but it you know, it can vary according to what so many different things to the science of our hair, because if you know how to check for porosity, it's something like you can take out one strand of your hair and you can put it into a cup of water, and then, you know, if it sinks, floats in the middle, that can determine whether you have a high, medium or low porosity. But all of our hair, to be fair, will absorb moisture. All of our hair will absorb moisture. It's to what extent we need to be thinking about. So if you use grease on your scalp, that's something that I wouldn't advise, and no trichologist would advise you to get a pot of grease. In the old days, we used to get the Dax or the Afro Sheen, and you'd take it out with your finger, part it, and then slide it across. And every night you do the same thing. Well, what you're doing is you're actually filling up your follicles with that grease and grime. And then what you also used to happen was that we never used to wash it out every week. We'd leave it in there for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months at a time, and it will keep on clogging up the pores. And then some people will say, well, my hair never grows. Well, because you've clogged it all up with grease and you won't wash it often. And remember, we sweat in our heads.
Yeah.
We sweat in our heads, and we also have a lot of environment, dust in the air. Yeah. We have lint from our clothes. We have pillow fluff. We have blanket fluff from the duvets. There's a lot going on in your hair, and you're not washing it.
Can I just ask a question then?
Yeah.
Because my mother, who doesn't have your mixed, she's a pure black woman. Her hair was long enough that you can sit on it.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Myself, well, whenever I take my hair out, people go, oh my God, why have you got so much? And you don't do anything with it. And all my sisters, my daughters, we've all got great hair, but we were always taught by my mum not to wash the life out of your hair. Leave your hair alone. The best thing to do for your hair is to eat yourself well. So every single week, we all have to have some sort of fish.
Yes.
Which you said definitely you must have your fish, and the oilier the fish, the better it is for your hair. So I'm interested in the hair, because she would tell you, don't wash your hair, none of that stuff. She wouldn't have you grease your scalp, because your hair doesn't absorb oil. You have to put oil on your hair, not the scalp. She wouldn't want you to wash your hair under you'd only wash your hair every 5 to 7 weeks.
Wow.
But when I take hair out, my hair's great. So I don't know. I'm interested to hear that she's with you said, but has a different philosophy around the hair washing.
Okay, so one of the things that we've kind of evolved from, where our parents used to do a lot of things that we don't do anymore, and some of them, like, I don't know if any of you still cook with lard, but we used to cook with lard years ago. I don't know if any of you still cook with lard.
Nope. That white stuff.
Yeah. Cooking.
Yeah. Cooking was just to make pastry.
Well, it's similar as lard. It's still something that we used to use, and we used to cook with it. Some years ago, people used to put it in their hair, mix it with yeah. So we've evolved. We've moved on from that. Yeah. Right, and because.
Sorry, that Lynn's back.
Hi, Mom. You're right.
Right. So, what we have to understand is that now that we are in we're learning more about ourselves. Historically, some of the things that we know better now. We do better in certain things. Yeah. Washing your hair every 7 to 10 days is something that we should all be doing, but some people are stuck in what they used to do, and that's fine. But you are absolutely right, Beryl. Food has a lot to do with the hair growth as well. If we are not having the correct type of nutrition in our diets, your hair is far away from your stomachs, and if you haven't got the right type of nutrition, or you've got a gut problem, your hair will be the last place to get the nutrition from the food. But if you are eating healthily, then your hair, you know, should be fed. If it's not coming from the inside, all of your nutrition to your hair is not coming from the inside, then you've got to add on top.
Okay. Is avocado very good for the hair?
Sorry?
Avocado.
You eat avocado, not to put it on your hair.
Yes.
I think you can use avocado oil.
Yeah.
Avocado oil, yes, but not to eat, not to put the avocados.
Oh, okay.
You know,
No, I was asking.
and then put it on your hair.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's very good unless it's been, you know, made by someone who is a mixologist. We call them mixologists, people who are used to mixing products for the hair. So one of the companies I use is she's called Born Beautiful Naturals, and she mixes flax seeds and marshmallow to make a gel. And I've used it in, you know, various people for their starting of their traditional locks.
Okay.
So
it smells wonderful.
So if you mustn't grease your hair, what should you do?
Your scalp.
Yeah, my
Okay,
scalp,
so-
because mine is very short. I used to trim it, but because of the lockdown, I'm not doing it. But it's growing, but yeah, I do wash it once a week. But I normally do it at night, and I use a blower to dry it.
No, you can wash your hair in the morning because it's quite, you know, it's short enough to just wash it in the morning, 2-strand twist it, and it will dry during the day. You'll be surprised at the growth that you will have with your hair. Just give it a couple of months. And when because the hairdryer can pull your hair, and it's adding heat, unnecessary heat to your hair as well, to your scalp. Remember, I'm talking about your scalp and your hair. Your scalp treatment and your hair treatment.
Yeah. So where do I get that pink thing? The brush. The brush.
Somebody just said that.
It is in the chat. Somebody just Bianca, I think, put it in the chat for us. But you know, you have got shorter hair, so you can just use your fingers or your new comb. I know Valerie is on. I don't know if she's there, but she can show you her hair. She uses her fingers.
So I've been going to Gillian, and I have a 2-strand, and mine short like a boy, and this is in the
Yeah, but mine isn't that long.
No, mine has grown a hell of a lot. But I've had it back, and I had no hair here, and that is also growing back. And I use oils. I don't grease my scalp at all. Again, having consultation with Gillian. That's
so
my.
Which oil do I use?
Well, Gillian gave me a selection of oils. At the moment, I'm using avocado oil, wheat germ oil, almond oil. I've got so many.
Jojoba oil.
Yeah, and black castor oil is very good as well if you add black castor oil.
Yes.
Black castor oil black castor oil makes no difference to your hair at all. Black castor oil is good for your like your body if you want to rub it on your body, but not for your hair, because it's a sealant. So it will coat the hair, but it won't penetrate inside the hair. Okay, so you would then have your hair and you'll go like this and it will be all over your hair, but it won't be feeding into the hair shaft. So if you were not getting enough food or nutrition, vitamins, minerals coming from inside your body, you need to add the right type of hair oil that's going to penetrate the shaft of your hair and feed your hair and make it stronger, especially if the majority of you have your hair out. So, I mean, you can always call me and we can do a Zoom on a one-to-one, and then I can give you that, you know, information as individuals, because there's so many of you, you will all have a different type
Yeah.
of hair.
Yes. Yes.
Even mother and daughter will have a different type of hair.
Mhm. So I noticed.
That's really, that's good to
What
hear.
about coconut oil? Is coconut oil okay to use?
Coconut oil, you can use coconut oil, but I wouldn't use it on its own, because again, yeah, it's one of those things that kind of, it would just slide off your hair if you have, it's not necessarily feeding your hair. Coconut oil is good, but it can just slide off of your hair and not really feed it. So we need to make sure.
Gillian, it's Jenny. Hi.
Jenny, hi.
So what actually happened is that I've got a thyroid problem, and because of the thyroid problem, because I'm not on medication for that, but you do get the thinning of the hair, etc. And I'm also on benzoyl because of having treated for high blood pressure. So I just get fed up sometimes of my hair. It has got sort of moment. It goes to the years when 1 minute my hair is really thick and nice, and the next minute there's nothing there, so to speak. And also menopausal. The only thing I've then did in the last couple of months in lockdown, I kind of almost lost all my hair, and I kind of went into because it then became very thin because of having the blood pressure medication. So what I did, I went into Holland and Barrett.
Okay.
And they recommended the organic hemp oil. Is it the rescue shampoo, rescue conditioner, and there's the 3-in-1 with the mousse one that you can spray on. What's your uptake on that, please?
I would say,
before I say that, it's allowed my hair to be it's gone back really, really thick since I've been using it. I just wondered.
I think all of the conditions that you've described, I would advise for you to definitely seek advice from a trichologist who are professionals in hair and scalp. I'm not a trichologist, I'm an Afro hair consultant. So I consult, and then I will refer on where I believe that you need to have, proper professional help and advice.
Okay.
I could take your case, have a chat with you, and then talk to my, I know about 4 or 5 different trichologists in and around London and up here. So yeah.
Where's up here?
Sorry, Milton Keynes, Northampton. Sorry. I'm in Milton Keynes, so Milton Keynes, Northampton. But the trichologists that I do know are in London. One's based in Croydon that way. Another one is kind of northwest London. Yeah, so but they're all available.
May I say
Yes.
that just prior to the last lockdown, Sister Gillian did organise. She had a trichologist come to her salon, and you were able to get appointment slots, because I personally know as well it's been hard to get a trichologist. Yeah. So just remember, trichologist, you can look it up. But if there is any way that another one is organised, we will put it on the Zoom conference, okay?
Okay. So there are lots of other questions as well.
Yes.
Have you got them now?
Yes,
Denise?
please. I'm here. So, Sister Patricia, I have thick hair. Have you done this one? Thick hair and a round face. I can twist it and undo after a week, which I love, but doesn't last long. Same here. I have a round face and don't know what to do with my natural hair. Any advice, please?
So you have a round, I'm not sure. So the hair itself is something that you need to be thinking about the style that would suit you, and better than pulling it all back. When we have our hair out, it's free to curl up. Our hair needs to be free so that the coils can become springy. I haven't, let me take this. So my hair's a mess at the moment because I was training today and I've still got it in the sections that, so I just literally pulled it all up so that it would be away. So when it's down, it's looking a little, messy, but I just want to show you as an example. This is a strand of our hair. Okay. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And our hair can be loose curls like this. Each one of our hair can be loose curls, or it can be narrow, or even very coily, very, very coily. But the best thing for our hair is for it to spring back, not to have it flat under a hat or under a wig, or to have it flat under a scarf all day long. If you have it in a scarf or under a hat or anything at night, fine. In the morning, undo it and let it be free, because our hair is like a spring and it loves to spring back. Once you've got it springing, you can pull your hair, and you're like Sister Valerie just showed you, when she pulled it, it looked like, and she let go and it will spring back. That's natural. Our hair is like that. So you just got to get used to that happening, and twisting it, 2-strand twisting it and letting it out and having it free is the best thing ever. It's a style to have it in 2-strand twist. I mean, my hair is in locks. My hair is in sister locks, but I generally 2-strand twist it. This is 2 strands here. Well, when I say 2 strands, it's more than 2 strands. It's loads of strands, but I 2-strand twist it. And then after I 2-strand twist it, the ends of our hair will always hold. Okay. So the ends of my hair are open. I don't know if you can see that.
Yes.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Do you cut the ends of your hair regularly?
No, I don't cut them at all. My hair was in the middle of my back and I cut it. So it was 2 Decembers ago. It was just by my chin, and it's grown now. It's down, just going to my shoulders and coming down my back again. And I'll cut it again. I'll cut this off so that it's here.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's just because I prefer to have it shorter. I've had it long, and I was lazy for a while and went to another loctician. She retightened my hair very tight and caused me to have traction alopecia. Right. Then I had to go to see a trichologist, who then sent me to the doctor. And then I went to see the dermatologist at the hospital, had a biopsy on my scalp. And wow. The dermatologist is the one that will tell you that you have what type of hair loss you have. So Jennifer, you were asking me about your hair and the type of products that you use. I would always go through the process. See a trichologist. I can see you. I can talk to you on a one-to-one. You can show me your hair on Zoom, and I will say, yeah, speak to someone who's a professional. You know, if you have got problems with your stomach or any kind of your limbs, you will go and see a physiotherapist, because they are the ones that, you know, or you'll go and. So there are people who will deal specifically with Afro hair, because there are a lot of people, doctors out there, shop owners, all these people have no clue about our hair. They just want to sell you the product.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Oh yeah, buy this. Yeah, buy it. Yeah. They'll tell you. Yeah. But it's not going to help your hair. It's not going to help your scalp or your hair. So remember, I always say 2 different things. You have a scalp that needs to be healthy for your hair to grow healthy out of it. Then you wash your scalp separately from your hair. And the way we wash our hair has a lot to do with the growth as well. If you're rough with your hair, like I said, if you're washing it rough or you're drying it like it's old clothes, you need to be gentle with it.
Okay.
So when you're drying it, you need to be gentle drying it. You don't put the towel on it and go like this to dry it. No, that's not the way we dry our hair. No.
So we don't use the towel to dry it.
You use the towel, and the towel you should use should be a lint-free towel, which would be like a microfiber towel.
Oh, it's smoother.
And you literally just wrap your hair in the towel and then take away the excess water
Yeah.
Take it off of your hair, and then 2-strand twist it with your fingers. You don't need a comb or a brush. If your hair is less than, 6 inches long, then you just use your fingers. You don't need to use a comb. You use your fingers to part it. It doesn't need to be neat. It's because the comb is what is going to break your hair and cause damage to your scalp.
Yeah, mine is very rough when I'm trying to comb it, and it hurts.
That's right. So you use your fingers. Just use your fingers, part it, 2-strand twist it, or plait it, and then in the morning, when it's dry, you undo it and just leave it and let it be free. No bands on your hair. You don't need any bands, because the bands cause hair loss around the edges as well. You don't need any bands, because the bands can rub against your hair and rub it away, rub your hairline away.
Oh. Mine is very short. So how can I do the twists?
You can.
Just 2 little bits.
Yes, you can. And I can show you on a one-to-one, Annette. You can take my number and just call me, and we can go through that.
Yes.
Are there any more questions on there?
Yes. Very interesting from Sister Patricia, wanting to know how she can stop her hair from going grey. I think that's so funny. I thought the solution was just buy and dye.
Well, I would tell you the secret is to just you have to go to Tobago and swim in the nylon pool. But some of you may know that, then some of you may not.
Yes. What is the pool going to do? Stop your hair from going grey?
Oh, well, it's a secret, you see. You have to go to the nylon pool to understand.
I was there, but the only thing is I didn't go in the water.
Ah, well, there you go. You should have stood in the water, because it comes up to your hips. How could you not go there?
No, I went in the water and just lie there.
You can sit down, it will come up to your
right up to my neck.
Yeah. Anyway, but you can use a hair dye. The best hair dye to use is called Nutritint from Holland and Barrett. It's very natural.
Really?
It's called Neutral what?
Nutritint.
Okay.
All right. Because I use the big gin?
No, it's full of chemicals, and that chemicals can break your hair. It goes into your body and you'll pee it out. No.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
It's not. That's why I stopped dyeing my hair. Can't be bothered with it anymore.
No.
Okay, what do you say this one is called from Holland and Barrett?
Nutritint.
Oh, Nutritint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nutritint from Holland and Barrett.
And can you do it yourself, or do you have to go?
You can do it yourself. It's very easy.
Okay. All right.
Very easy.
And what I also get, I get the hair burst. With the hair burst with the hair grow. You get they're like chewable sweet tablets.
I like hair vitamins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vitamins. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, Annette, if you haven't seen a trichologist, if you have got hair conditions with your scalp, it's no point in just, someone has to really talk you through your whole regime of hair care management.
Yes.
Yeah. And taking a few tablets is, you could take one tablet which will counteract another. You've taken the tablets, you've just told me that you're dyeing your hair with Beijing. You're taking the tablets, but you're actually adding acid to your hair. What's the point?
All right. Okay.
Some people could take the tablets and continue to put lard in your hair. What's the point? It's really a whole individual cycle, and it is individual.
Yeah.
So I've just given you a basic run through of everything, but there's so much. There's so much.
Okay.
To do it on a one-to-one basis is better, but I've just given you a sort of a snippet.
Yes.
Okay, Beverly Hall Park has a question, and we're close to 8 o'clock.
Yes, I was just going to ask, could you say something about steaming? Because I used to steam my hair every time I washed it, which was like, because I'm a 10-day sort of, 7 to 10 day hair wash person. And I would steam my hair about twice a month, sort of once a fortnight. What do you recommend on steaming?
People do still steam their hair. You don't actually have to steam your hair. You don't have to, because when you steam your hair, you have to remember that it's going to be very dry afterwards. So you need to ensure that you have the right type of oils to add to your hair after you've steamed your hair, because what you've done is the hair shafts will be open, and you need to make sure that you're using the right type of oils that will penetrate and feed the inside of your hair, so that it doesn't dry out, because a couple of days later it could, and it can be addictive steaming as well. You could steam it and then a couple of days later, a week later, you go, oh, it feels really dry, and then you want to steam it again because it feels, but as soon as we wet our hair, it feels nice and soft anyway. So the best thing is to get the right oil and to spray it and to strand twist it and keep it moist all the time.
Yes. Which are the best penetrating oils? The ones that penetrate?
The one that is closest to the sebum that is naturally produced by our bodies would be jojoba oil. That's that's the one that's nearest to sebum. That there's vitamin E oil. I have got a vitamin E oil that I mix sometimes, but I have an oil that's already mixed from Afrocentrics, the ladies from that company, and Almacado, they do another oil. But some of these companies, these ladies that I recommend, make the products and sell them UK. They're not American. They're all in the UK. They live in London, or they live in Birmingham, or Manchester. These are people who have decided to become mixologists and just make our products for Afro hair, specifically for Afro hair. It's not Sainsbury's, it's not Holland & Barrett, it's not Boots, it's not Superdrug. It's sorry, I'm just on the thing. I'll call you back, okay? Sorry. Yeah, so it is one of those things that we need to be mindful that years ago we used to have, I don't know if some of you remember Dyke & Dryden.
Yeah.
Some of you from London will know Dyke & Dryden. Johnson & Johnson used to make products they used to sell products that they said was made for us. Not necessarily so.
I've got I'm going to make these a final question.
Sorry.
Two questions.
Please, can I just ask very quickly, T44Z, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I know the person who actually sells that T44Z. I haven't used it myself. I haven't used it. I don't. I know. No.
What is T44Z?
It's hair oil.
It's hair oils.
Eat it. It's all fruit based, and this is what we use on our hair. So it's all of the things in it are fruit.
Yeah, I haven't.
Not okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to say because I haven't used it. I prefer to have the oil separately. You have to try. It's all a trial and error. I think there was there's an oil called Nanny's hair oil or Nanny's, what was it called? But Nanny's hair oil or something like that is called. And I think, people will produce hair oils all the time and say they work, but we have to be mindful of, because with the T44Z, I saw a presentation and the person was saying, don't wash your hair for 6 weeks. Well, if really you need to be washing your hair every week. If you wash your face every week, your scalp is just an extension of the skin that's on your face. Because it goes all the way back there. Skin comes back round again and down here. And you wash your face every morning and every night. So, and you sweat in your scalp. So you should really be washing your hair every week or every 2 weeks.
Right. Now the question here is, have you got any suggestions for little girls' hair? My granddaughter is afraid of her hair parted or combed through.
I would say to do it wet. Have a spray bottle. Have a spray bottle and and use your fingers or a tail comb. You can use a tail comb to part, to just get through. And then when you go through with the tail comb, you grab it with your fingers and then tease it so that you can separate it. And then big 2-strand twists all the way around the hair, and that makes it softer. Combing the hair, if you're combing the hair, you need to comb from the bottom up to the root. This is the root of our hair, where our hair grows from. This is the bottom, what we call the tip. So you would comb your hair from this side. You'd get the comb and you'd hold a section of it, hold it tight, and comb this bit here. Because when you're holding it tight with one hand, you're not pulling it from the scalp, so she won't feel it. But if it's wet, you spray it with the spray bottle, comb it through until you get to the top, and then 2-strand twist it. And yes, make washing your hair fun. That's wonderful, Bianca. Yeah, make it fun.
I'm going to say too that that Sister Gillian has seen me comb my own son's hair, and his scalp is sensitive, and she literally winces. Like, even if I'm doing this now, she's like, "Oh, stop! I can't bear to watch it." So she made the point earlier: no nails in the scalp, hold the hair to, and the things that I do as standard. She said, you got to respect your hair. I remember you saying this, and it does make a difference.
Even when you're drying it. When we dry our hair like if it's old clothes. I'm like, why are you drying your hair like that? It causes me pain. I see people do things with their hair, and you know, like when you go over a bridge and your stomach does a turn, that's what happens to me when I see people doing that. I go, oh.
So time is really run out, and I don't know if you've enjoyed that, if you want to just give us a wave or anything, if you've enjoyed that. I'm going to put a link to the website so that if you want to see a follow-up session, put it on the blog, give us your feedback on the blog, okay, so that we can know if you do want to have a similar thing, with what you would like to see, Sister Gillian deliver and give feedback on. People have to, Sister Beryl says, thank you, it's been very useful. I have to run, stay safe and blessed, and I'm sure you all do. It's been an excellent session. Sorry about dipping out. I'm going to watch over the recording, which again will be on the blog link that I will send to you. So please give us comments, because we can, excellent, I agree, thank you. Thank you, Sis Gillian, useful tips and hair tools. Good session, thank you. Brilliant presentation.
Don't forget the tights. Don't forget the tights, ladies.
And as for the tights, somebody earlier mentioned using a satin cap, whether a satin cap is better.
Yes, it's much better than the tights. Much better. Because remember, the tights, our hair is coily and it can get caught inside there. And again, it can cause breakage. So, yeah. But it's just, you know.
And Sister Jennifer Solomon, excellent. Oh,
satin pillows. Thank you, Bianca, for that. Yes, satin pillows is so important. You can have a satin pillow and sleep on the satin pillow instead of the satin. Yeah.
So we'll finish off at this point. I'll put up a link for your comments. Only time is making us stop now. So if I could ask you, Sister Gillian, we've had the privilege of your hair knowledge. Can we have the privilege of your closing prayer, please?
Okay. No problem. Thank you. Thank you. Father, Heavenly Father above, thank you so much for this time that you have given us. Father, we sit together and we share our knowledge together. And we are so grateful for this platform that you have given us, the time that we can share together and we can openly discuss how we feel about something that is so precious to us, our crowns of our heads, our hair. And we know that sometimes we have so much pain when our hair doesn't look good, but God, you have given us the right tools. You've given us our fingers. You've given us the oils that are from the earth. And you know the way that we should be treating ourselves, our bodies, our minds, and our souls. You speak so well about us in your word that we need to speak well about us, ourselves, that you have made, and our hair is included. We thank you for everything that you are doing for us today, yesterday, and tomorrow. And we just ask that you keep on looking after those that have got illnesses, that are going through things, and that we pray that they will find the strength to return to us just as they left us. And we thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thanks a million. Thank you, everybody. Until the next time. And I will put a link up so we'll know what you would like to see and in terms of follow-up. Thank you, and God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Excellent. And thanks for your questions. Great.
Bye-bye.